All right. Good to see everybody today. I hope you're doing great. I'm Coach Michael Burt. Thank you for joining us. And if you were on this call, some of you were on this call the other day when I did this, but I got good news for you. I'm going to be better today than I was the other day. All right. Because I've had a couple days to think about this concept of fear and how to turn fear into cash. And if you're on the call, if you join at any time, just mute yourself. Not because I don't want to talk to you, but because we pick up a lot of noise. We do record these and then we put them back out on my YouTube channel. So it's good to see everybody today. I'm going to talk about how to turn fear into cash flow. And it's occurred to me during this cycle, and you guys know we coach about 1,000 people a month all over the world, in other countries, locally, nationally, internationally. So I've been on phone call after phone call after phone call, webinar, coaching our business, how to coach through this. And it's occurred to me during this cycle that the country is divided really into two groups of people during this crisis. Number one, those that see this as an opportunity. And you're going to say, well, how in the world can we see this as an opportunity, right? Well, it's an opportunity to do a couple things I want to share with you. These are things I'm doing. It's an opportunity to reevaluate your business model. Okay, it's an opportunity to diversify your offerings. It's an opportunity to create new products or services so that they can meet all times, meaning times of recession, times of contraction. Okay. And finally, it's an opportunity to create multiple streams of income. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I really want you to know is that during this cycle, this is a tremendous opportunity. And what I mean by this is, would you be looking at your business model to see if it was diversified? If you didn't go through this, would you be thinking about multiple flows of income? Would you be thinking about where you're most at danger or most at risk if you weren't going through this? Would you be digging in with your current clients like you are, right? Like, so the first group of people that are going through this are going to handle this as an opportunity. Man, it's an opportunity. This is opportunity to expand. The second group of people I'm seeing in the United States are the people who are going to allow fear to control them. And therefore they contract in everything. And when you hear me use the word contraction, what I'm meaning is they move into a defensive posture. Okay. Therefore, they contract in everything, in all their actions. Their mindset is one of defeat. Their mindset is one of hopelessness. Their mindset of negativity. Their mindset is of loss. And I can tell you by talking to a person in less than just a few minutes on what kind of mindset they have. Like I was on the phone with one of our clients the other day and he answered the phone and I said, "How you doing, big guy?" And he said, highly blessed and favored. Highly blessed and favored. I said, "What? It don't sound like you're highly blessed and favored by the way you answered the phone." He said, "You're right, coach. I'm in a funk and I'm doing this and I'm trying to figure out a way to quit and all these type things." I said, "Man, come on. You didn't hire me as your coach to let you quit. You didn't hire me to let you contract and everything. You didn't hire me, right? You didn't hire me to allow you to walk around in a funk like this, did you? Because you could do that without old Coach Burt." He's like, "You're right, Coach Burt. That's exactly why I got you. I'm ready to go." And in a matter of one conversation, guys, one conversation, his mindset was different. So you got to decide where you're going to fall in this category. Number one, you're going to see this as an opportunity. You're going to see this as something to control you. Fear can't control you. Now, you tell me how that is a solution to any problem. Contraction is never a solution. No big time people never contract when they get scared. They expand. And I'm going to show you how to expand today, okay? Now, fear is so strong that it controls people. So I've made up my mind. I wrote a whole book on this called Swag that we're going to give you on confidence. I made up my mind that no external factor is going to control me. I control my stimulus. I control my push. I control my mindset. I can't control others. I can't control their response. I can't control their external factors. I'm in charge of me, which means I can make 80 phone calls today, outbound effort. There may be some people who are scared, don't want to hear it, don't want to talk about it, are contracting, wouldn't buy anything today. Okay. But you don't know that until you do what, Kevin Brown? Until you make the 80 phone calls. The reason you make the phone calls because you may get somebody to go, "This is the perfect time to get started. I've been waiting on this opportunity. I've been thinking about my business. I need this." You don't know until you make the call. So what you got to make up your mind is there's nothing external that's going to control me. I am in charge of me. Okay. And no external factor is going to control my push. Okay. So I want you to think of it like this. I want to give a definition to fear. Fear is an emotion. It is actually an unpleasant emotion that someone or something's going to harm me in the future. Notice some key words that I said here. It's a belief and in the future. Okay. We have a belief That belief is what I call a consideration. A consideration is an internal thought that prohibits an external action. So I'm going to go through some what if scenarios in just a second. So we have a belief. Remember, right? Fear is an emotion created by belief. The belief is that something's going to harm me where? In the future. Okay? In the future. Okay? That belief is a consideration, which is an internal thought that creates an action or a lack of action. See, right now, many people will use this as an excuse not to take action. Nobody's going to answer the phone. Nobody's going to buy any products. Nobody's going to do anything. And because of that, they'll contract. Contraction means I'm just going to sit and wait. I'm going to play defense. And no good coach is ever going to let you play defense. A good coach is going to push you to play offense. All we can control is our stimulus. That's all I can control. My stimulus, my thoughts, my action, my push, my effort, my attitude. That's all I can control. If I call David Kinder today, David's got a bad attitude, I can't control his attitude. All I can control is my call to him and my attitude. Even if he has a bad attitude, I can still control my attitude toward him. Now, what many people do is say, well, why even call David? Because David ain't buying anything today because right now we're in the middle of this crisis. See, that's a consideration. That's a consideration. I don't know what David's thinking because I'm not a mind reader. I don't know what goes on in his brain. The only way I'm going to know what's going on in his brain is to initiate. Okay? Now, that belief or consideration you have comes from one place. It comes from your past. You've believed something, you failed somewhere, you've listened to somebody. Okay, that belief comes from past and allows others to infect our minds. Okay, infect our minds. That belief causes us to do a couple things. Causes us to worry. Worry creates dis-ease. D-I-S-E-A-S-E. I'm diseased. Okay. Now here's what the news ain't gonna tell you. The number one killer in the United States is not the coronavirus, folks. It's stress. Stress is the number one killer in the United States of anybody. Stress creates heart disease, cardiovascular disease, creates all kinds of attacks on your system. That's the number one killer, people. It's stress. Okay, so stress is created by what? Worry. Worry comes from where? Fear and anxiety. What is fear? A belief that something's going to harm you. You believe in your mind that something in the future is going to harm you. So because of that, you sit around and worry. And the more you worry, the more it taxes your body. Okay, so I want you to really understand this concept. You're playing a what-if game. What if we have a recession? What if we lose everything? What if it doesn't work out? Right? That's what you're thinking in your mind. What if I can't sell anything? What if I can't pay my bills? What if I have to sell my house? Well, let me ask you this. There's a couple things people can't take away from you. They can't take away your courage, and they can't take away your confidence, and they can't take away your work ethic. They may be able to take away some of your cash, and they may be able to take away your house, but they can't take away your courage, which is what you used in the first place to buy the house, to make money to have the house, right? So as long as you got courage, you're going to find a way to win, right? So here's the point. What's the other side of that? That's a pessimistic side. A coin has two sides to it, heads and tails. What is the optimistic side? What if it does work out? Okay. What if I learn something new? What if I strengthen my business? What if I'm so much better in the future because of what's going on right now? What if this shows me I need a diversified portfolio? What if this shows me I need 3 more flows of income? What if this shows me I need to get off my butt and sell something so I got some cash during this period? Like, those are all good things that could happen as a result of this. Okay. So the cure for fear in any scenario is action. Now, I used to go up to the Smoky Mountains, and I used to go, hiking in the Smoky Mountains, and I had a cabin in the Smoky Mountains. And when I first bought that cabin, I didn't know any better. So when I bought the cabin, I went out one night just walking around the subdivision, and it's late at night, and I'm walking around in the mountain, in the hills and everything. And I go back and I call one of my buddies, and I say, man, I just bought this cabin. I just went out for a walk, and it was great, man. Beautiful, man. It was quiet, peaceful. He said, what? He's like, you went out for a walk tonight? And I'm like, yeah, man, it's great. He said, you do know that there's bears everywhere in the mountains. Like, you don't need to go out walking at night. Because I didn't know, I just went and did it. I was naive. I didn't have any fear. Then he told me, right? Then I had fear. Now, here's what's interesting. You pull up right now what to do if you get attacked by a bear. You know what it tells you to do if you get attacked by a bear? Do not make any sudden movements, right? Like, don't provoke the bear. Don't, right? Stay. And then it goes through like 7 things you need to do. Stand still. Do not provoke the bear. Step forward. Do this. Don't antagonize it. Like if it's you and a bear, then it gets to step number 7, and it says, if the bear attacks you, fight back violently. and it goes through all these things. And I'm thinking, if I meet a bear, okay, I'm not going to stand there and be calm and do this. I'm going to have to take some action. I'm either going to fight the bear or I'm moving. I'm running. I'm not going to stand there. Well, what I would tell you is right now, that's kind of what's happening. You got 2 choices. You can stand there and look at the bear, or you can fight back aggressively. That's your 2 choices. You can run if you want to, but tell me how that's going to produce any money for you. Tell me how not making any sales calls is going to produce any money for you. Tell me how not talking to your current clients is going to produce any money for you. Tell me how sitting there waiting on the government to bail you out is going to produce a solution to you. If you're banking on the government to save you from anything, you've lost your freaking minds. I'm 43 years old. There won't be any Social Security by the time I turn 75 years old. Y'all understand that, right? So if I'm sitting here waiting on somebody else to feed me Social Security 30 years from today, okay, that's my fault for being dumb. My daughter won't let me say stupid, right? She's 7 years old. She said stupid's a bad word. Now, here's my point, but it's dumb. So the only thing I know to do when I get in times of fear is to exert force and energy in every direction I can, as much energy as possible, as much force as possible. So let's talk about how do we turn that fear into action and cash, okay? Because there are people right now making lots of money during this problem. You think about the grocery stores making money, the toilet paper companies are making money, the masks are making money, okay? There's people that are capitalizing on this opportunity right now, trust me, okay? Now, here's the principles. This is just a mindset of turning fear into cash. Number 1, here's what I know, and I know this to be true. Money changes hands when problems are solved. And it's very important, Sean Vernon, because what I've got to constantly think about is what problems can I solve for people today and whom can I solve them for? Okay, Josh, when I'm thinking about this, here's what I'm thinking. What problems can I solve for people? Okay, and for whom can I solve it for? I.e., who would pay for me to solve their problem? Now, let me give an example. We have a new division of my company called Monster Publishing. And Monster Publishing is because I've written 15 books or 16 books. People come to me because they want to write a book. They don't know how to write a book. They don't know how to get a publishing deal. They don't know how to self-publish. And so we create a little niche, a little division, and we have a guy who writes the book for you. He packages the book. He gets the book on Amazon. He knows how to make it a bestseller. And there's a service for that, right? I think there's a $5,000 option and there's a $15,000 option, and then it goes up. But you could have your own book for $5,000 bucks. And during this period, because people are at home, they're sitting there, they don't know what to do. They got a lot of free time on their hands. Many of them have reached out to me, said, man, it's the perfect time for me to start writing my book. And I said, great. We got a division of our company called Monster Publishing for $5,000 bucks. You can pump out a book. He just wrote the last book for me, Legacy Selling, that's about to come out. He's good. He transcribes. He takes your information, transcribes it, puts it into a book. You got a product to sell. Okay. Now that's a way for me to generate money during the middle of when people are at home, because everybody wants to write their own book, but they don't know how to get started. They don't know how to do it. They don't know how to monetize it. And if you can't make more than $5,000 off the book, you shouldn't have written the book to begin with. Okay. Because either the book sucks or you don't know how to use the book to make any money. Okay. And that ain't that right. So when you're thinking about it, that's a way. I'm sitting here thinking, what problem can we solve right now? What problem can we solve? And for whom can we solve that problem for? Money changes hands when problems are solved. I'm in the business. I want you to tell yourself this. I'm in the business of creating multiple solutions for multiple problems. See, in my opinion, the people who are in real trouble during this recession have one solution. They don't have any more than one solution. If you can't sell that one solution right now, then your portfolio, your business is not diversified enough. What if all I did was speak? And I can't do any speaking engagements? I'm in trouble, guys. If that's all if that's all the money I got coming in, I'm in trouble. Which is why I need online programs, other products, video series, which is why I need to plan events for the future to sell tickets to. It's why I need my real estate portfolio. It's why I need money in the market so that's winning versus losing. Like I need a diversification so that one thing is not all I'm relying to. And too many Americans rely on one stream of income. So when that one stream is cut, it's like, oh man, we're screwed. Well, it's really your fault for only having one flow. You need multiple streams of income. So what I'm thinking is I'm in the business of creating multiple solutions. There will be new divisions of companies. Like I'm forced to get creative. Look at what Delta did. Delta took their airplanes, ripped out the seats, turned them into cargo planes, right? Because people weren't flying on them. So they did it with like 30 planes. Then he said, man, it's working. We may do it with 80 planes. They found a way to make money with the same asset they already had. If nobody's going to fly, then here's what we'll do. We'll use this plane for another way. You know, in the old days, okay, my uncle John Bird on here, he'll remember this. Back in the old days, they used to use baking soda to bake. Guess how they use baking soda today? To deodorize. It's the same product, just used in a different way. Now I'm thinking about how do I use my property in Florida? How do I get people to get down there that can drive? They want to be quarantined, want to be quarantined in a nice 9-bedroom house where they can just sit there with a nice heated swimming pool and swim every day in 80 degree, right? How do I rent my lodge during this period? How do I solve a problem for somebody? I got to be thinking I need a bunch of solutions. So I'm in the business of creating multiple solutions for multiple problems. That's how you need to be thinking right now. Number 3, I have more than one idea and I have more than one product. I got more. Selling is an idea. Okay, Brenda Sprague, I got an idea. I'm going to present that idea to you. You may or may not like it. If you don't like that idea, it's okay, because I got another idea. Okay, I got another idea. Meaning when I got different products, let's say I call to sell a person $1 million coaching summit, but they don't need $1 million coaching summit. Let's say they actually said, I want to train every day with you. So good, I got an online academy. You can train every single day. Oh, well, I want to learn how to do this, coach. Oh, I've got a retreat coming up on that. Let's go ahead and get you signed up for that. Okay, I got see, what I'm thinking is I have ideas, and my ideas turn into money. Okay, my ideas turn into money. Okay, so this is what I need to be thinking right now. I have more than one idea and I got more than one product. I have multiple ideas and I got multiple products. Therefore, selling is about 4 things. And I guarantee you some of you are not doing enough of this. Number 1, it's about initiating. Selling is about initiating. We're making roughly, our goal, our minimum is 80 phone calls a day out of our office. 80 times 8, 80 plus 80. Eric and Lakin make it 80 a piece. That's 160. I add my 40 to the equation. We're making 200 phone calls a day. Now, why do we need to make 200 phone calls a day? Because that's initiating. I got to go through a lot of duds to find the studs. Everybody with me? I got to call on a lot of people to find out who's interested. Now, what if you're only making 4 phone calls and 16% of 4 are interested? Right? That's half a person. Okay. So my point to you is selling is about initiating. What does initiating mean? Initiating means calling, texting, scheduling, video, anything you can do to get a person's attention. Now, if you notice, I do a lot of these hype videos. Okay, I do a lot of these hype videos, and hype videos are short 1-minute videos. Every one of y'all need to be using these. Okay, every one of you need to be using these. There's short videos on my phone where I basically do a voiceover, then we put them into a video. That's a 1-minute video. I share it on Instagram. Then I use it as part of the sales cycle. And what it is it's my beliefs. It's my beliefs. Okay. Hey, I believe this. I believe in expansion versus contraction. I believe the number 1 cure for fear is action. I believe there's 4 things you need to do in the sales cycle. And I'm just pumping that stuff out over and over and over. What I'm looking for is to find people that believe the same things I do. Everybody see that? And the people that believe the same things I do, like, let's go, coach, burn the ships. Let's do something. Right? Then there's people like, oh my God, I'm scared to death. What am I going to do? Hey, sky's falling. That's what's going to happen to you. Okay. But you don't need to be on the phone call because you ain't interested in getting better. Okay. Sit at home, watch CNN all day. See how that helps you. Okay. Now so here's my point, guys. Number 1, it's about initiating. It's about initiating. Call, text, schedule, video. And by the way, why don't you look at the salaries of the top 8 news anchors on the channels? I don't care if it's Fox, NBC, ABC. They're all making $4 to $8 million. All they want is eyeballs all day long. They're making a bunch of money to get you hyped up and watch them all day long. You know why? Because they don't want to lose that $8 million salary they're making. Okay, so just understand these things, guys. All right, number 2, connecting. I initiate, and number 2, I connect. And there's an art to connecting to people that some people don't have. It has to do with your energy. It has to do with disarming a person, making them relax. See, when people make a buying decision, Amanda Abella, that when people make a buying decision, it's because the croc brain is relaxed, the neocortex is involved, and they don't relax if they think there's a threat. Okay, when you study the brain is always in a scarcity mindset. It's looking, it thinks something's going to hurt it, something's going to harm you. So the way you do this is you disarm people. And I may say, hey, Josh, hey, Ricky Bratcher, how you doing, man? Tell me where you are in the country. Tell me how you found out about me. Tell me, right? Like we just talk. And once we talk a little bit, they relax. And once they relax, what I do is the third step, which is I locate a problem. Now let's go through some things here. Let's go through some things. Let me figure out what the challenge is for you. Well, I'm struggling with this. Well, I need help here. There has never been a phone call I've been on that I have not found a problem that somebody has. Never. Just by talking and engaging in dialogue, I locate a problem. Now, this is important. If you were on my sales team, I would tell you to locate a significant problem. And the reason for that is people won't spend money on a problem if it ain't a big enough problem, right? It's got to be a big problem they want to solve, or they won't exchange money. Okay. I'm working on a new book deal right now on my book Pray Drive. And I paid a company in New York City $7,500 to $10,000, I think $10,000 to help me get a book deal. Well, why do I care if I spend $10,000 if I get a $100,000 advance on the book or a $250,000 advance? See, there'd be a lot of people that I coach out there in the world. They're scared to death to spend the $10,000 to get $200,000. It's crazy. Okay, because the way they're thinking, you're thinking wrong about this. Okay, it's hey, that's a problem. I want a book deal. I want to book in bookstores all over America. I want it in airports. I want it all over the world. Well, these dudes know how to do it, and they've done it for a bunch of other people. So here's the investment. That's a significant enough problem. I'll spend the $10,000. I don't care if we're in the middle of a recession. If I want the book deal bad enough, right? The money, I'll exchange the money. That's how you got to start thinking. Locate a significant problem. And the fourth piece is I got to offer a compelling solution. I got to offer a compelling solution. Okay. And a compelling solution may not be I bring them to a buying decision right then. It may be they've emotionally bought, but they haven't made it official yet. So then I have to follow up. That's where the videos come in, and staying in their face and being in the right. Like I keep going until I bring it to its logical conclusion, which is a sale. Too many people stop right there. They offer a compelling solution and then they give up. They don't know how to build momentum. They don't know how to take something through to its logical conclusion. Okay. So 4 steps: initiate, connect, locate a significant problem, offer a compelling solution. So the key word there, guys, is initiate. Initiate, initiate, initiate. Raise your hand if you need to be calling on more people right now. Exactly. Right? Everybody does. Everybody does. Okay. So here's what I'm forced to do to turn my fear into cash by initiating. I'm forced to get creative. Number 1. I'm forced to dig in with my top clients and offer what they need. They may need energy. They may need mindset. They may need emotional support. You know, I've had some of the best conversations with my top clients over the past week and a half because we believe the same things. We're all in there fighting. It's like a shared alignment of beliefs. It's like, man, let's go. What are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? Here's some ideas for you. Oh, great. Thank you for that. See, I'm forced to dig in with my top clients and offer what they need. Some of them need energy. Some of them need mindset. Some of them need encouragement. What they don't need is gossip. What they don't need is more negative. What they don't need is sit around and whine and pout and feel sorry. They don't need any of that. They can get that anywhere. What they need from you is a solution. Okay. Number 3, I'm forced to diversify my business model and my investments. See, this has taught me a lot during this period, guys, because my high-end real estate right now that I own, somebody just checked into my lodge today. So I'm generating rental money there, but my house in Florida, you know, I had to refund the money for the people that were booked in it. So because people can't leave their states. Now, what's going to happen is when they do allow you to leave your states, here's what's going to happen. That place is going to be booked 100%. Because people like crazy are going to feel like they deserve a vacation. They've been locked up. They're ready to go. So, you know, for every negative consequence, there's a positive consequence. All right. So here's what I'm doing. I'm forced to diversify my business model. That's very important. I want, before I go to the next one, I want you to get this one. Some of you do not have diversified business models, meaning you do not have a platform of things to offer. Therefore, if that one thing is not working, then you're in trouble, and you don't ever want to be in that situation, ever. Okay. All right. Next, I'm forced to address the cold hard truth about money. And the cold hard truth about money is during periods like this, you recognize how much you really need. How much money do you really need? Some people are going to tell you 6 to 9 months. I'd tell you a minimum of 9 months. I think you need a lot of cash. And the way you build that cash is by working a system I'm about to show you. Okay. And here's the next thing. I'm forced to do things I should have been doing the whole time. I'm forced to do things I should have been doing the whole time. So here's the 5 things right here you got to be doing to turn fear into cash. Number 1, you need to be calling on your hit list every day. Hit list represents new money. That new money can come from current clients. It can come from past clients. It can come from strategic partners, or it can come from your direct leads. Any way that you generate leads. And you need something right now to generate leads, guys. I'm doing webinars versus speaking engagements. The webinars still generate leads, still generate interest, still generate enthusiasm. Okay, I'm still generating, right, a cycle of people to call on. You need to figure out how can you create people to call on right now. And many times you don't need to create it. You just need to pick up the phone and call on. I mean, how many people have you helped in your lifetime? Okay. I mean, when I asked Eric, how many customers have you signed up for Michael Bird Enterprises over the last couple of years? How many would you say?
300 to 400.
Okay.
At least.
Yeah. So that 300 to 400 represents 300 to 400 people to call. 300 to 400 on top of the people we're generating every day, on top of the leads we're producing every month, on top of the people that have liked on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, on top of anybody in his personal network, on top of his top 25 customers that he has. Like on top of that, look at all the people. He's probably got 500 or 600 people to call on. There's no shortage of people to call on. And that's a very small subset of 7 billion people on planet Earth, right? So when you're thinking about this, I come into every day with a hit list. The hit list of people I believe I can help. And my hit list could come from me calling a person and saying, hey, can you introduce me to that person? I'm doing a virtual summit tomorrow. They got 400 people on the summit. A virtual summit. I didn't create the summit. Somebody else created the summit, but it's one of my coaching students. So I'm one of the main people that are going to be on there. That's going to put me in front of 400 more people tomorrow. That's 400 potential leads, 400 people we can help. Okay. I'm doing a summit next week for 2,000 coaches, basketball coaches, football coaches. There's 2,000 more people we could call on. So what do we need to do? We need to find a way to capture their information. Is what we need to do. And the way I capture information is I give things away for free. Now, this is very important. No matter what business you're in, what I do is I create something of value like this webinar. I give it to you for free, right? We get you to register for that. Okay. You get value from me. I get value from you being on here. Okay. Then I give you something. I'm going to give you my book swag. I'm going to give you a copy of this video today. I'm going to give you the video I did with my doctor, Dr. Stephen Hotze. I'm going to give all that stuff to you. Just my way of helping you. Okay. Now, that's what you need to be thinking. What can we give our clients? What can we give our prospects? What can we do to capture more information? How do we get in front of more people? Yesterday, I was doing podcasts with other people on their Facebook pages to get in front of their networks of people. So number 1, I come into it with a hit list every day. Is everybody clear on the hit list? Okay. David Kinder, are you clear on the hit list? All right, good. Josh, what about you? Every single day we come into the day with a hit list. Hit list is new money. Number 2, I work my farm club to completion. I work my farm club to completion, meaning all the people who have ever indicated interest in your services, all the people who have ever indicated interest in your services. Have you gone 7 touches with those people? Now, let me tell you what happens a lot. Let's say Kevin Brown comes into the cycle and he indicates interest in my services and we call him one time and we can't get his attention. And then maybe we call him a second time and we don't get his attention. So then we just move on to somebody else because we couldn't get old Kevin's attention. Now, that's not how Coach Burt thinks. I'm going to go till I get Kevin's attention. I may have to use text message, video, voice text, any mechanism I can, YouTube video, strategic partner, one of my best clients. I'm going to go until I get his attention because I can't share my services with him until I have his attention. Does everybody understand that? And in the book, $1 Million Follow-Up that I wrote, I talk about 7 touches. You need to go a minimum of 7 to 15 touches. Many people do not have the discipline or the toughness to go 7 touches. So they call a person one time and say, well, I couldn't get in touch with them. Well, of course you couldn't get in touch with them. Not one time. Like you need to call, text, video. Okay. You need to create some intensity here. So every day I got my hit list and I'm turning my hit list into money. If you got a thin pipeline, let's say you've got 2, 3, 4, 5 people, 10 people in your farm club, it's because your hit list is not robust enough. You shouldn't be calling on a few people. You should be calling on hundreds of people, thousands of people. Okay. If your farm club's thin, it's because your hit list is weak. You're not initiating. So people ask me, do you keep a schedule? Of course. We're making 80 phone calls a day out of my office, 9 to 11:30, 1 to 4. We're making nothing but outbound effort. And that means I'm calling, texting, emailing, videoing, following up. My sales team is doing that. Plus we're running funnels. Plus we're running webinars. Plus I'm hitting my database. Plus I'm calling my top 25. Plus I'm servicing customers. All of that in one day is creating activity. Okay. Terrell, you with me? All right, good. I see you there. I see you. Now, so here's my point. I got a hit list and I got a farm club. How many people come into every single day and they don't have a hit list and they don't have a farm club? Or it's scattered, right? Number 3, I'm cultivating and nurturing my top 25 relationships. I'm cultivating and building a top 25. This is a perfect time to be doing this. If you notice what I've been doing, Ariana and Chris and Cecilia and Krista Siebert, is I've been doing webinars almost every day with big time people that are specialists. Meaning I've done one with a doctor, one with Dustin Black, who founded Black Tie. He's an expert at building networks. I did one with a disc expert on how to different personality people handle crime. Like every day I'm creating more and more content every day. And I'm just pumping it out. I record it, then I put it to YouTube. Then I use it in the sales cycle. So I'm using multiple purposes. I'm multi-purposing that stuff. But one of the number one things I've been doing in this period is I've been working my big relationships. I've been calling my big relationships. What's going on? What are you doing? I got a guy in Texas that manages $6 billion. And the other day I had a great call with him. What's going on with money? What's going on with the markets? What do we need to be doing? Okay, I'm talking to Dr. Hotze in Houston about energy, immune systems. What do we need to be doing with the virus? What's the best thing we need? Like I'm working and massaging what I call my top 25 relationships right now. And let me tell you why. Those relationships turn into cash. Introductions are made. Doors are opened. New partnerships are formed, right? Like the other day, here's a great example. One of my top 25 is a guy named Matt Monero. Matt Monero lives in Dallas, Texas. I was on the phone with Matt Monero talking to him. He said, hey, I just bought 57% of a company called RP1, which is a marketing company. The marketing company can redo or redefine a website in less than 48 hours. Okay. And he says, I said, hold on a second. Did you tell me that they can come in and redo your website, complete digital overhaul in 48 hours? He said, yes. And I said, for how much? He said, $10,000. I said, I want to be an affiliate. Just like that. Boom. I said, if you'll give me 2,000 off every 10 that you sell, I bet I could send you 100 people a year. Would that be okay? So off my 100, I make 200,000, excuse me, if I send him 100 people. You see how fast that idea happened? You see how fast I jumped on it? You see how fast I turned an idea into money? Everybody see that? He's got a great idea, solves a real problem. Any of y'all have ever redone a website before? It sucked, took you 6 months. They halfway did it. It didn't produce money like they told you it would. Nothing worked like it's supposed to. I'm like, if you can come in and do this in 48 hours for $10,000, shoot, I'm in. Okay, I can help you. I can feed you people. And if I feed you people, now I got a whole new side of my business. Okay, that's how you produce money out of an idea quickly. Okay, is that you got to be thinking. Now, if I wouldn't have had Monero, if I wouldn't have met him in 2012 in Mexico at a Grant Cardone event in 2012, if I hadn't have met Monero or spent time with him and built a relationship with him, we wouldn't even been on the phone, guys. And if we wasn't on the phone, I didn't even know he bought 57% of the company. If I didn't know he bought 57% of the company, I couldn't get in on him. Okay, so this is the reason you need to be milking these relationships right now. You need to be loving on these top people. Okay, next one. I need to be working my database like crazy. I need to be working my database with some incentive to drive eyeballs to me. I need some incentive to drive eyeballs to me during this period. So if you got a database and you got, or a list of people that you got, you need some incentive to keep them people coming to you every day. So I've been subdividing out my database, i.e. customer list, i.e. prospect list. And we've been hitting them with different things. Okay. Like the door-to-door people that are on here. I went back to them and I said, I want to do a webinar just for them on this one concept. The Optavia group, I want to do a webinar just on this one concept. This group, like I'm subdividing the database and I'm coming back to them with some kind of value that would bring them back to me. That would bring them back to me over and over and over. Okay. This is very critical. All right. Last one, build strategic partnership and continue with them until completion or monetization. Now, what I mean by that is a strategic partner is a person that has access to networks you don't have access to. Okay. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to build a relationship where they introduce you to their following of people. Okay. This is really critical, guys, because in the old days, let's say, you know, let's say I call on Ricky Bratcher, right? Let's say I call on Ricky and Ricky introduces me to X number of people, right? Now, in the new days, Ricky may introduce me to one person that introduces me to 1,000 people, that introduces me to 10,000 people. You got to start thinking that it's no longer one-to-one. 1 + 1 or 1 × 1 now may mean 100, not 1. Everybody follow what I'm saying? 1 × 2 may not mean, it's not 2 today. I was on Kevin Brown's podcast yesterday. Anybody that listens to his podcast could become have an affinity with me. Then if they do, then they're going to start looking at my stuff. Then if they start looking at my stuff, they're one step closer to me being their coach. That's my point. Okay. My point is now when you have these strategic partnerships with people and you're tapping into their whole network. Okay. David Kendrick, I heard you from Tom Love. There you go. So you see what I'm saying? That's a strategic partnership. So I work strategic partnerships just like I work my hit list. My hit list is part of my strategic partners. So 5 things I need to be doing every day to turn my fear. So and I'm going to break this down. What's fear? And emotion. Emotion creates a belief. Belief something's going to harm me. I got 2 options, contract or expand. Okay. If I expand, this is what I'm doing every day. If you came to work with me at the Greatness Factory today, okay, if you came to work with me and watch me work every single day, you'd see me doing every one of these things. Got a hit list, got a farm club, got a top 25, working my database, forming strategic partnerships. Now, let me finish that one up, and then I'm going to take any questions that you have. When I say build a strategic partnership and continue until completion, completion is monetization. Let's take what David Kinder said. Tom Love is one of my strategic partners. He's somebody I've coached for several years. You know, since he's been in our coaching program, he's drastically increased his income from here to here to here to here to here to here. Now, that's a strategic partner. But what I need to be doing to bring that to completion, David, is going back to Tom and saying, how can I get in front of the breakaway league? How can we form a partnership where the breakaway league people get access to my coaching program? How can we do a retreat or event together here? It's not a strategic partnership that's effective until it's monetized. And monetize, this is where a lot of people don't monetize it. Okay, it's one thing to do. It's one thing to have a loose partnership with each other. It's another thing that we're going to go out and make money together. I'm going to give you access to my group. You're going to give me access to your group. And this is where it falls off the wagon a lot. There's a lot of talk, but not a lot of doing. Okay, so you got to see it through to its conclusion. And the conclusion to me means monetization. You're making money with it. Okay, you're making money with it. All right, let's close it out with this. How do you use negative emotions to produce? This is what big time people do. If you don't think big time people wake up scared to death in the morning, you've lost your mind. They have fear, anxiety, disappointment, anger, frustration. They have all the same emotions everybody has. The difference between them and big time people is the way they use these emotions. I use fear as fuel. The more I get backed into a corner, the harder I work, the more I push, the more I come out fighting, the more phone calls I make, the more I dig in, the earlier I start, the later I stay, right? That's an emotion. Some people, when they get scared, first thing they do is contract. So here's the ones I want you to do. Fear, anxiety, worry, disappointment, anger. Those are 5 emotions that I see every day in people. I'm afraid, so I ain't doing anything. Not doing nothing. I'm anxious, so I'm sitting and waiting to see what happens. Listen, Seeing what happens is not creating. You need to be in the business of creation. You were made to create. You're happiest when you're creating, when you're pursuing. Your prey drive is activated when you're moving towards something, not when you're static. Worry creates disease. Disease creates what? Stress. Stress creates problems for everybody. So instead of getting stressed, what you ought to be doing is taking action. Now, anger, my mindset about anger is real simple. When you have conflict with people, conflict is actually necessary for expansion. There will be conflict when you push hard. Trust me, there will be conflict when you push hard. Okay. So just remember that. So we got a mindset of attack. We got a mindset of activation of prey drive, and we're trying to find a way to produce revenue. Now, let me close with this. How do you help people come to a decision during a time of fear? The number one thing they're going to do during this period is they're going to say, well, let me wait. Well, let me think about it. Well, right now is not the right time. You have to challenge their thought process. And let me give an example. I was talking to a guy this past week, and he wants to do the coaching program. He desperately needs the coaching program, but he's scared. And he's like, oh, I'm scared to spend the money, and I'm scared to do this, and the timing may not be right. And I just said, look, if you were talking to a small time person, then they'd probably just say, okay, when the timing is right, you call me back. But I said, you're not talking to a small time person. You're talking to a big time person. You're talking to a person that knows how to expand versus contract. So I'm going to challenge you on your thought. The time is never going to be right in your life to make a decision. The time is never going to be right to invest in yourself. And you need to get over being scared. Okay. Until we can have this talk today, or we can have it 6 months from today. Now, are you in or are you out? You see what I'm saying? Now that's what a big time person would say. They wouldn't sit there and fall over and go, well, you're right. I'm so scared. All right. If you're a financial advisor, what did I just tell you a minute ago? I'm investing right now in the market in certain stocks. So would you not try to sell me anything if you were my financial advisor? Or would you say, no, let's hold tight, not do anything, coach? No, because the reality is there's money to be made right now. So I want a financial advisor that says, let's go. It's time to get in on this thing right here. I want a mindset of attack, not a mindset of defense. Okay. And I'm going to be attracted to those type of people. So I think you need a low ticket item to get people started. If you don't have a low ticket item or something for free to get people started, you need something. Like this is free to you. Okay. You need something just to get the ball rolling. You need some way to get started. Okay. Let me get you into this. We have a $49 a month online academy. $49 a month, get you a Monday call with me every week. I do a 4:30 call with the group every Monday. It's $49 worth of 4 calls I give you every month. But then you get the online academy. That's an easy way to get started on something. Train every day, right? You need your own version of a low ticket to get started. You need various products. And when you're making sales calls right now, know this, there's not a wasted sales call that you're making, even if they don't do anything. Even if they don't do anything, that is a good call to make because you're planting a seed. You're adding value. You're bringing energy. You're bringing motive. You're bringing something of value. So you need positive momentum during this period. Okay. And don't be like the person I called on yesterday. Says, well, I'm highly blessed and favored. How you doing? Well, I'm highly blessed and favored. No, if you're highly blessed and favored, say, boom, thank you for the phone call. I'm highly blessed and favored today. What are we going to do together, coach? That's the kind of mindset you have. All right. Now, what questions do you have? Because I'm going to give you some things. I'm giving you the replay of this just for showing up, man. Just for showing up, I'm giving this to you. Okay. I'm going to give you my book swag on confidence for free. We're just going to email it to you. I'm going to give you my interview I did with Dr. Stephen Hotze out of Houston, Texas. You need to watch that interview about the virus. You need to watch what he's doing. Okay. And then I'm going to give you my online academy for $49 a month. If anybody on here is interested in getting coached up, there's Lakin at coachburt.com and Eric at coachburt.com. They can get you enrolled in that online academy for $49 a month. And that's a steal. We're almost giving it to you right there. But every Monday you get a call and we push and push and push. And we're going to give you this mindset, not just today, but every day. So I hope that there's nobody better in the world right now to coach you than me, guys. I'm telling you, I've been studying confidence as a science. I wrote a book on confidence. Every one of my books, Inside the Mind of a Monster, is one of the best books you can read right now during this period. I teach you how to attack, how to play offense. When I was a basketball coach, we had a rule. We're going to get the ball to the midline in 2.3 seconds. It's all offense all the time, right? And that's my mindset to people right now. So what questions do you have? Thank you, Paul Van Neville. He's in our coaching program. Who's got a question? You can raise your hand. Or I'll be happy to call on anybody. Just unmute yourself. Okay, Ricky, I see that. We'll follow up with you, Ricky. We got some things for you. Any question? Kevin Brown's has been valuable for you? Okay, good. Man, I had fun doing this. You know what?
Tons of value. And anyone that's not in the academy, man, it's great. I love the academy because I'm able, on days where I've got a little bit more time, flexibility in schedule, I can hit a lot of content, a lot of videos, get an entire thought process all at once, take a lot of notes, and then get into action. So
right,
it's great.
And being on that call with me every Monday is worth every bit of that, man. So if you want to get in that, just if you're interested in anything we do, just email Lakin@coachberg.com. Lakin, you guys can see the comments from these folks and Eric, and then we'll follow up with you. But listen, hey, I've got myself motivated. I got to go make some sales calls. I'm tired of messing around, man. I done motivated my own self. So you guys have a great day today, right? Hang in there. It's going to be a fight, but dadgummit, we're going to win. So let's go. Thank you.